See, I don't want you to measure your blocks from there. I want you to measure like this. That, 2 fingers, and from here, here, and here, and 1 finger. And the reason why, those are the shoes you're gonna wear, that's how you measure your blocks.
The Europeans use the measurements. Us Americans, we use our feet. I've been the same size for the past 20-some-odd years. I figured they ain't changing.
How do you fix your blocks, JD?
1, 2. Simple. 1, 2, 3, and a finger. Bam! There it is. My feet ain't changing. See, everybody else, they got, I use my hands sometimes when the blocks are different, but if you use the same blocks, your measurements, my feet don't change.
Everybody puts their blocks different. Like Maurice, for example, puts his right pad forward. I put my left pad forward with 4 of these in between, 4 and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And then this back from the line goes 6 of those measurements again, and then 3. You see a lot of people use measuring tape, but you're in the big final, you ain't got time to be counting all that tape and all that stuff. You need to use something that's gonna be consistent, so your hands is a good way to start. So 6 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, I'll show you exactly how to do it. You're trying to think about it.
Let me put 3.
All right. Just come up, just hold the position. Set. That right there, put that on there. There, that right there has to be on there. That locks this angle in right here, okay? You don't have to look at me. And you don't have to worry about that foot. You see where it's locked in right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's been steady. Okay, come down. See, it makes it steady. But if you don't find that, if you don't find this on that, that's like walking around like this all day long. Each block is different, so you got this block here, so just don't get locked into it and say, oh, I can't find my angle. You can always find the angle. It may not be comfortable, but as soon as you set your mind to it, you can find that angle, sit that foot back there. It may not be ideal, but at the same time, when you push off the block, you're gone. Set.
361.
HSI. And I'm Ingrid Miller.
One hand on you. One hand on you.
I always say that what she said, don't talk.
At this point in the race, as I said, we're not worried about how fast we run, but how we prepare to get to that hurdle.
Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that. Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that.
Because you can get to the hurdle too fast and jump too high and take too much airtime to get down, or you can get there a little bit too slow, crash the hurdle, and let the race get away from you.
I bought the flutes this time, though. Check. Unleash the flutes on the Guru.
At this point, I'm not too concerned, but I'm setting up for what John Smith and I have invented called a drop zone, which is the style of hurling which I do. The drop zone is very simple. It's at this point that I emphasize to try to maximize my touchdown and my speed from hurdles 3 to 8. By hurdle 4 and 5, I'm really concentrating on moving. When I mean moving, I mean collapsing off the hurdle. Most hurdlers land with the legs straight and roll off the hurdle like this, and that's not fast. Learned by some of the old greats, like Guy Drew. He was a straight leg hurdler, but Guy had a drop off that was wonderful, which made him really fast. When he landed, he would land like this, and he'll collapse, what we call collapse into the hurdle. Once we're getting around 6 and 7, we have to change our cadence in a sense. We don't de-accelerate, but we don't try to accelerate, okay? Because at this point, there's nothing that any human can do. HOVA. At this point comes the ending point of the drop zone. I got my mojo back, baby. I'm usually setting up for hurdle 10. I'm not even thinking about 9 at all. All I'm thinking about is putting myself in a position so that I can come off of hurdle 9 and be able to attack hurdle 10. No, don't be afraid. Y'all in your articles, Hawk, spit at J. Because hurdle 10 can win and lose races for you. I've been in first at hurdle 10 and do something wrong and lose. And then I've been in third at hurdle 10, do something right and win. HOVA, I got my mojo back, baby, on me. I don't want anyone out there to misunderstand what I'm trying to say. You don't have to be a 10-0 sprinter to run 12-9 in the hurdles. You can be a 10-5, 10-6 sprinter and run 12-9 in the hurdle. The race is over. Well, the first thing that I look at, depending on who's in the stands, is my family.
HSI. And I'm Ingram Miller. One hand on you. One hand on you. I always tell you what she said, don't stop.
The first thing you have to do is be aware of the start. You have to anticipate the start. If you sit there, listen to the gun, then react, you get left in the blocks. And you can ill afford to do that. So the first thing of the race model, this is part 1 of 7, is called reaction time. The hands in this position, you're sweeping the ground, and you are going into block clearance, which is your first step away from the blocks. Then after the next step is called the drive phase, and that is head down, trying to catch a falling weight. And it basically lasts for about 30 meters when you come upright into your running position. The feeling of the drive phase is like in an airplane. If I'm traveling in an airplane, how do I come up so that I don't disturb the passengers? And that's basically what you're doing in the drive phase until you get to about 30, 35 meters. And at that point, you're going into what we call max velocity. You're going to carry that from 30 meters to about 80, 85. And at that point, at 85 meters, you're going to go into what we call a maintenance. And then after maintenance, what you're going to do then is hold on and try to not deal with deacceleration, because deacceleration is when you basically have run out of all of your energy sources. Everything is like gone. So you have to now use the strength that you've acquired in the weight room. Various distances that you've run to solve particular problems, either from a technical standpoint, from a standpoint of body position, just solving the problems that you need to do in order to continue to maintain your velocity over 100 meters. And at that point, you should be at the tape and you should be successful. Boop.